Wildfires have the potential to devastate small communities like Forest Hill. It happened last year when the Caldor Fire burned through the town of Grizzly Flats. Hundreds of families lost their homes, but to this day, many of those families are getting bills for their water service connection for houses that aren't even there. Van 2 dug into the dispute between property owners and the water district.
There's an uneasy quiet that fills the air.
It's devastating. My wife doesn't even want to come up here.
As the heat rises from the winding asphalt running through the leveled neighborhoods of Grizzly Flats, once shaded by canopies of trees.
This was considered a little oasis that few people knew about.
Now mostly barren plots of dirt framed by scorched blackened trees, Rick Hall says coming back to where his home once stood is difficult.
It's just not a pretty sight anymore. It's just not a pleasant place to be, but it's our home.
Hall's home was among more than 600 destroyed by the Caldor Fire in the summer of 2021.
This was the general area of our house foundation.
With his house wiped out, you can imagine his surprise when he received this bill in the mail for $68.97. It's the existing monthly base rate for water services through the Grizzly Flats Community Services District. According to the special district's ordinances, the base rate is charged to all customers who have a service connection and is determined by the district's fixed costs.
Okay, so this is our water meter.
The water line is dry, but it's still draining bank accounts.
This is the meter, and it's covered with dirt. There's some mice or something in there right now. But if I turn it on, I don't have any water.
Hall among hundreds on the hook for as long as they own their property. In complaint letters to the board, heartbreak. Everything about this decision felt cold, unjust, and uncaring. You are punishing all who lost everything. Payment is being made under duress and forced.
We always had a good sense of community and camaraderie up there. We sure miss it. We miss our neighbors and our neighborhood.
Mary and Sean Holt lost their full-time Grizzly Flats home to the fire. Their home burnt down, the fire so hot, it melted the block engine of the car in the driveway.
We feel horrible about what happened there, but we're having to move on with our lives.
Fortunate to have insurance, they relocated to Florida, but they're still stuck with this burned-out property and the water bill that comes with it.
We do not need the service, but we're forced to pay it because we used to. That doesn't make any sense. I asked them to remove the meter. I never really got a response back from that.
We got a response, and the answer is no. In a mid-May vote, the board decided property owners could not disconnect their water service connection. Why? Officials say the district cannot make any decision that would put the district in further jeopardy. When regular billing resumed in April, documents show lots of people didn't pay up. The district received less than half of the billing revenue they were expecting. As of June, documents show a 30% revenue gap.
And the headaches for fire survivors don't end there. If they refuse or simply can't pay for this dried up water service connection, they can face fees and even tax liens on their property.
I'm not going to pay my water bill. I don't have it. I don't need it. I don't want it. Take it out.
Hall says he's ready to take this dispute to court to fight for an equitable solution.
They saw the train wreck coming and didn't address it with the community, I feel, in the proper way.
District officials say the board is looking for alternatives for how to structure base charges for those who have lost their homes. But in a statement they say, we must continue to charge customers what it costs us to provide water service, in accordance with Proposition 218. Prop 218 is a state law that was approved in 1996. It restricts property-related fees. In short, any new taxes and charges on property owners are subject to voter approval and must go through a cost justification study. However, in the same text, Prop 218 specifies that no property-related fee may be imposed for a service not used by or immediately available to the property owner. Hall and the Holts say they believe the charges they face are illegal, and the district should have done a new cost study from the onset, saving the community from the additional heartache and potential legal fees.
And Van is with us now. I mean, this is a difficult situation for everyone involved.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Of course, for the people who lost their homes, but even the ones who were spared. And the community district itself, half of its staff also lost their homes in this fire. So in the middle of this dispute really is that interpretation of Prop 218. And Hall says that in about 30 days, when a tax lien is placed on his property because he's not going to pay this bill, he will be seeking representation and filing an injunction. He believes he has a case here.
So for those who won't pay their bill or they can't pay their bill and then the water district's not going to cut their service, what's the alternative?
Another option would be to sell, but of course, you know, selling right now would be at a huge loss. The district says, though, that maintaining that water meter will be great for the system and even add value to the property. But the property owners here say, wait a minute, not so fast. They say it's actually unattractive for potential buyers if they have to pay this bill until they're ready to actually build as new owners.
And obviously the district needs to support their infrastructure. They need this money. What are they going to do if they don't get it?
They will simply dissolve. And if it gets to that point, the only options really are to form with another water district or create a new one. And at that point, it will involve the county, El Dorado County, as well as the Agency Formation Commission.
All right, Van, thank you so much.